Janae, here to brighten, enlighten, and ignite your day. I am thrilled to share with you our first video lesson together. I am recording live from my God cave. I will give you a tour of that and talk about what that means in a little bit. But here to share more insights regarding the month of January. And the theme for this month is God calling, getting hit on the head with a new direction. And that's really what happened with me this year, is that when the year started out very differently, and as I share a couple of resources, I too want you to think about what wake-up call, how is God calling you, and to really open your heart, open your mind, open your hands to let Him lead you to find out what that might be. And sometimes it, takes a while, and sometimes our heads got to be messed with. And that was really how it started out for me. I received this great book called God Calling, and it's a devotional from my good friend and spirit mate Becky. And little did she know then the profound impact it would have on my life. This is a truly unique book, and I truly felt God speaking to me to it so many times, and I talk about that in my writing. And what's interesting about this book is the authors of it have actually stayed anonymous because they feel like this was all about Jesus and God speaking to them, and they were just the channel, the messengers for it. So one of the things it says, inhale its spirit continually and live your life in its intimacy with the Master. It started out as these head games because I just thought that things I was reading in here were just kind of messing with me. All this that I had been learning and dealing just seemed different. And I was trying to wonder, what was it? Why was it different? What did I have to learn from it? What did it all mean? So the God calling started me out on this path that I was just being kind of drawn in and to a different level, and just really was trying to be open to that. But then what really hit the nail on the head was when I did get bonked on the head with this bungee cord, this exact cord. And that was when you'll read about that story, getting hit on the head with it. And I truly did. And that was another turning point where I said, okay, God, I feel like I've been doing everything my way, the right way, and yet I'm still not getting the kinds of results that I'd hoped. And I just was like, what's your plan for me? And then I was able to see in a different way by letting go of the blinders, the spiritual blindness that we all have, and just letting God help me to see in a new way was incredible. And there's a reflection I talk about turning from entitlement to enlightenment. I think we're all have different parts in our lives where we feel that we are entitled to things, and yet really what God wants us to do is open us up to things, to see in a new way, to see in a way that He wants us to see, to be open to that. So I was seeing in a new way, I was being opening, I was kind of hearing things in a different way, all because I said, okay, God, it's up to you. I'll let you take my hand and lead me in a completely different way than I had in the past. So different traditions and rituals that I have impacted that. I go with my two best girlfriends. We have a WINGS group, which stands for Women in Nourishing Groups for the Soul. It's the three of us. Every year we go on a yearly retreat, and it's a chance to get away, retreat, just reconnect in our lives, but we're always about growing spiritually, growing relationally, looking at practically how do we implement things in our lives. And one of our wonderful traditions that we do, and I highly recommend it, and also have a vision board process for you to do that, but it's to create your vision board, to create your dream for your upcoming year. I just think that we all have big dreams for our entire life, but if we can just say, okay, how do I want to be intentional this year? So we do this process, and I came into it a little bit differently. You know, in the past I would maybe say a prayer when I would start it, and then I'd create my vision board, and then I would pray over and say, okay, God, help me fulfill this. And this year I did a little bit something different. I had God, I said, you know what, God, you just lead the way. What do you want to see? What are your dreams for me? How do you want me to spend this year? Because again, I give up, and you're waking me up to something, or you're awakening in me something, and I want to be open to that. So this is what my vision board looked like for the year. You know, just some different particular things that were of interest to me. Putting in the center my family, being the goddess of unconditional love, which was awesome because love ended up being my theme for the year, even though I didn't really realize it at the time. And just a couple other things that were really key to me of what I wanted to focus on. But one thing I was really intentional this year with my vision board that I had never been before was leaving some white space. You might be looking at this and being like, white space? Yeah, I don't see any, Janae. But compared to past vision boards, this had a lot of white space. Let me just show you my one before this. This was my one before it. And if you can see it all, it's pretty much filled in. And that's intentional because I didn't want to do more than one page. I wanted one page to kind of get the big picture vision. But I'm so passionate, and I have so many dreams and so many areas in my life I want to grow in that I just love to fill it up. And yet this year I just said, okay, God, you know what? Let's leave some space. Let's, you know, let it evolve into what you want. And it's fun because a couple of things that at the time I didn't know about but really came true, as I said, my eyesight improved significantly because I thought I was going to be getting LASIK surgery soon. And yet that turned it into something different and completely a different way of having eyesight and insight. Also, there was this great quote, God does his best work when we are doing no work. And that's what it was. I think I just said, I'm going to stop working harder. I'm going to stop doing things that I've always done before and just let God kind of lead me on this journey and see what that would look like. So that was really fun and memorable to me of having that white space. And just a little bit more about the white space is we need to take that time to give ourselves time, to give ourselves permission to stop, to pause, to rest, to chill out. And that's what I love about being in my God cave, as I just curl up, a cocoon, like a cocoon. And it's like you need a cocoon and find that time just to get that spiritual part of you to be able to relax, just to let God speak and be open to it. And that's what I love about being in here. It's private. I'm alone. I can curl up. I can just do my own thing. And I usually come in with maybe some thoughts I want to do, but I really give God the space to let him move me in whatever way, to read or write something that maybe I hadn't thought about before. And so that just brings me to the idea of the best version of you. You know what? That's truly what God wants, is that he has created all of us with the best version of ourselves, right? He has determined that there is a special plan and a special purpose for each of us, for you, for me, and for all your loved ones. But yet what happens is that too often we don't listen to his call. We don't wake up when we get hit on the head. We don't surrender. And so what happens is that we continue to live insanity, to do the same thing over and over again, expecting something different because we're afraid of that empty space. We're afraid of the margin in our life because we don't know what to do with it, because we're so used to overstuffing and overcommitting and over-fulfilling our lives that we don't give time to God for him to open up, for him to give us space so he can fill us with God's grace. That's what he wants. He wants us to that. So this month is all about being the best version of you, as Matthew Kelly says. How can you this year embrace your dreams and yet open up your heart to what maybe God's dreams are for your life. And just to know that He's with you each step of the way. And you too, your eyesight will improve. God's insight will come into your life. And you truly will be able to walk in a way this year unlike any other year that you have before. So just enjoy this time and find your God cave. Find that special place, which I'll give you a tour of mine in a moment, but find that special place where you can go, you can cocoon, so that you can come transformed, renewed every single day. That truly, having this space where I could be in solitude and be in peace and not be interrupted was one of the greatest gifts that I gave myself that year. I want to give you a little tour of my God cave, which is pretty much the same since when I wrote the book, but a little bit different. So I come in and I have my Finding It, Living It, Giving It Away, my mission of my business and purpose. And then I have my beautiful and awesome Pumpy Sun chair. Now this is where I love to curl up and cocoon and just feel rested in God's presence and just get all snug in a bug there, which is awesome. And then I have some of my special guides here. I have my basket of different spiritual resources, books, prayers, devotions. One thing that did change is underneath I used to have another kind of little spiritual altar, but now as you can see it's starting to get taken over from my son and the toys as they play in the office, and I try to do some work. So oh yeah, and my cushion change. I have this nice big beautiful cushion. It used to be the black cushion that we have here. This is one of my beautiful spiritual altars, I would say, where I have pictures and phrases of loved ones and inspiration of people, my faith, kind of my family, being a mother, just different things that truly inspire me. And I love being able to look at those and just feel that inspiration. So that's awesome. And again, we're just in my office, just a little corner piece of my office there. And then also here is where I have some more of my spiritual items. Being able to have some of my I Am Love, my prayer of Jabez, which I totally love and love to say that prayer and have for years. So that's really beautiful to have for me there. My money tree, this is a great resource for me because I don't always focus on the money, which is a good and bad thing. So I'm really just giving that to God and thanking God and the universe. My brother-in-law made that for us, which was fun. So I've kept it here in the office. And then I would say I have my little beautiful Mary garden that my sister-in-law made me with some beautiful Mary pictures. And I love these Mary statues that are actually my husband's grandmother's, one that I never knew that also had a beautiful love for Mary. And then on the other side I have a Mary statue from my grandma. And then here's my bags down here. I'm kind of a bag lady, so bags on the go I have there too. So just a quick little tour of my God cave. Again, the idea for you is to create one that works best for you, one where you can just get alone, be private, and snuggle up the best that you can, because it's all about being able to love, aspire, and grow. And again, God speaks to us on the whisper. He speaks when we're open, when we let our hearts be renewed in His. And so I encourage you to do that. And then you can just wrap yourself in God's grace and love. This is one of my spiritual shawls where I just feel wrapped in God's love, Jesus' love, Mary's love. So you can wrap yourself in that warm embrace. You can wrap yourself up in God's love. So enjoy this time. Give yourself permission to take time this month to go through the companion guide, listen to the coaching calls. Just do what you can and let God lead you, and He'll know exactly what He wants to do to transform your heart. So, signing off from my God cave and wanting you too to just chill out and have fun, because you are on the greatest transformational journey of your heart. So from my heart to yours, be loved.